Okay guys, welcome back. So we are going to do our lab number 5, which is DMVPN dynamic routing protocols. Phase 1 is static mapping. So we have the configuration of phase 1. So I have loaded that. Let me load my notes. And once this is loaded, I will select and do the console. Oops, what happened? And I will delete the old ones. So now I have router 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need 5 because 5 I'm not doing anything. So now I have all the devices ready. So the idea behind this one is that what we are going to do is that we are going to enable one loopback, right? One loopback needs to be enabled, which is going to be loopback 0, and that is a loopback we are going to share with our routing protocol. So if you look at the show IP route on all of my devices right now, the only route which is not connected is the static default, and you can see that this is true for all of the devices. Now you see, this is true for all of the devices, the only static route. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create the loopback 0 interface of 172.16. So let's create 172.16 1.1 255.255.255.0 and config t interface loopback 0 IP address 172.16.11 255.255.255.0. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys that this is the right now, but the pre-config I'm using is from the phase 1. This is static mapping. If you look at my video, previous video on this topic, you will find it and you can follow along from there. I will show you what does that mean in just a second. So that is also done. Router 4 172.16 4.4. Okay, so if I go look at show run interface tunnel 1, you will see that this guy has the NHRP mapping, static mapping. So that is why this is phase 1 static, and these guys should only have the map to the server or to the hub, right? So all of these should have the same show run interface tunnel 1, show run interface tunnel 1. So now you can see that everybody has the hub registered. So if I go to node 1 and do show IP NHRP, this guy has should have the 3 static mapping, and these ones should have 1 static mapping, right? So let me verify that. And the test is that these guys should have reachability to all the endpoints, the tunnel endpoints, all the tunnel endpoints. So router 2 can should reach 1.234.1, 3 and 4. So does router 3 should be able to ping 10.1.234.1.2 and .4, right? So this is the main idea. Now the idea is, now what we want to do is we want to enable routing protocol. So let's start with the RIP route. So to enable RIP route, I'm going to use, to save time because I'm going to do other protocols as well. So to save time, I'm going to do it send the command window to all sessions. So I will say config t router rip version 2 no auto summary network 10.0.0.0, right, and network 172.16.0.0. so these are the two networks I am using. Now if I look at show IP route rip, you will see that router 1 is now getting 3 and 4. It should get 2 as well. Let's see, there is something wrong. Did I run the command here properly? Yes, I ran the command here properly. So this is fine. Let's verify. Let's go here. So 2 is not sending anything. Let's verify that 2 has everything, or 2 can ping. it can ping, right? We just verify that. 10.1.234.1, yeah, it can ping. Show run section router rip, so it has 10 and 172.16. Show run interface loopback 0. There you go, the IP is wrong, so let's fix the IP. Interface loopback 0, IP address 172.16 to. So I'm keeping all these mistakes here so that you guys know how to troubleshoot, right? Because troubleshooting is an art itself. So if I go to router 1, I would see 2 there as well. So I have all the routes, but remember, all other spokes should only have one specific route. It's gonna come here as well with passage of time. Let's do here. Am I receiving anything? I'm not receiving anything. Am I receiving anything? I'm not receiving anything. Why I am not receiving anything? Who can tell me? So the reason why I'm not receiving anything is because this is a multicast interface, and for the multicast interface, not multi, it's a multi-point GRE interface. For the multi-point GRE interface, we need to define where the multicast will go. So we have to map in NHRP where the multicast will go. Right now multicast is going nowhere, so we go in tunnel 1 and we say IP NHRP map multicast, and then we map the multicast to all other sites, right? So this is 235.3 and 45.4. we have to map it for the multicast traffic to travel. So now if I look at the RIP, I have the RIP 1.0. If I go to 3, I have the RIP 1.0. If I go to 4, I have the 1. Why this guy is not coming? Is there anything wrong? 45.4. So that is fine, right? So you should received it. No, it's not receiving. Let's see. Show run section router rep. This is fine. Show run interface loopback 0 4.4. That is fine. So this guy should receive. Show IP route rip is receiving. Okay, so it's a bit late. Slow. Rip is slow, guys. Rip is slow. So now let's see. So from router 4, if I want to ping, let's say 172.16.1.1 with my source of loopback 0, I am able to access it. So from the spoke site, no matter it's 3 or 2, I can reach my hub. So 172.16, you can say anything in the hub. It can be anything. It can be multiple routes or whatever, right? So I can access hub site resources, but I am not able to access anything on the spoke site. So if I want to go to 16.3.3 with a source of loopback 0, nope, it's not going anywhere. Why? Because I do not have that network in my table. So there are two ways we can do that. We can go on router 1 and we can say, you know what, inside the tunnel 1, because router 1 is not sending the update which is receiving from other sites to this to, let's say, receiving from 2, not giving it to 3 because of the distance vector property of split horizon. So if I say no IP split horizon and wait a bit, I will receive in my routing table, I should start receiving 3 and 4. You see, I'm receiving 3 and 4. So now if I go to 3.3, I can, right? Now if I go to 4.4, I can. So this is one way to do that. Other way of doing it is to have a summarization. So hub site will do the summary. I won't say that's the best option to do, but you can do that. So on my tunnel interface, I can say IP split horizon so that it will go back where it started. So we will just what we will do is that we will clear the IP route so that we don't have to wait. Let's do that. Let's do, just give me a second, guys. Let's do show IP route rep. So router 1 has all the port. Now this guy has only one, right? So this is good. So let's go to router 1. let's do the summarization. So from interface tunnel 1, I will create a summary address for RIP for 172.16.0.0.255.255.25, no, not 255.0.0. So like basic summary. So now if I go to router 2, instead of 1.0, I should be receiving 0.0/16 as well. And soon you will see that I am going to remove. If I do clear IP route again, let's do that. Okay, clear IP route star. So if I go to router 2, and you know what, do it on all routers, show IP route RIP. So now I have only one entry, which is the summary, right? So now I'm only receiving summary. Now if I want to ping 172.16.3.3 with the source of loopback 0, well, it will ping from everywhere. So you can see 4 can ping, 3 can ping, everybody can ping, not an issue. So this is another way. So you can remove the split horizon, or you can do a summary. So we can do exactly the same thing in EIGRP as well. The thing to note is when we were having all three routes, if you go back, do I have it here? No, I think I checked it on 4. So let me show you guys here. So here you go. Do I check it here? Do I check it here? Do I check it here? Where's the entry? 0.0, 1.0, 1.0. No, I wanted to show you guys something very important before we move on. I should have it somewhere. No, it's not there. Okay, so the issue, what you see is, if I remove my summary, let's go and let's remove my summary from here. So you see I did this. I can say no, and I can say no IP split horizon. So back to the first solution, right? And then I can say clear IP route star, right? And then I can say show IP route RIP on all of them. So this is router 1. You can see it's going via 2, it's going via 3, it's going via 4. But if I go to router 2, you will see that it's going via 1, it's going via 3, and it's going via 4. So the next hop is not changing. So this is the important thing. The next hop is not changing. Even though if I have to ping 172.16.3.3 with the source of loopback 0, the traffic first going to router 1, which is the hub, right? So this is working like that. This is always working like that. So 3.3, 234.3, where should I send it? Oh, I don't know where should I send it. So if I look at the show IP NHRP settings, it is telling me that 234.2 is my IP, and anything on the tunnel is going on that site, right? So this is what it is showing me. It is not showing me, it is just showing me that I have to send the traffic to this guy, and that's what I'm doing in the tunnel. I'm sending this to there because it's inside the tunnel, and then it's reaching router 1, and then router 1 is sending it to 3. Now what we will do, we will do no router RIP, and instead of RIP, let's see one more thing. Do show run interface tunnel 1. So I still have split horizon. You can see no IP split horizon, so I am going to remove that. So I'm going to say interface tunnel 1 IP split horizon. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run EIGRP. So I will say config t router EIGRP 1 no auto summary, even though I'm running 15 points. So no auto summary, network 10, same thing, network 10 and network 172.16.0.0. So you can see this is much faster. This is what I like about EIGRP. So if I look at show IP route EIGRP, this guy have 3. These guys will only have 1. Again, distance vector routing protocol, again IP split horizon issue. So if I go there and I say interface tunnel 1 no IP split horizon for EIGRP1. And now if I look at show IP route rip, oh, see my bad, show IP route EIGRP, and if I go to 2, you can see, and now you can see that what rip wasn't changing the next hop, right, but EIGRP is changing the next hop to self every time. So this is the important thing to know. That is why I want you guys to see. Again, you have another way to do that is you can do a summary again with, if you do not want to do split horizon, it's up to you. So let's change this and let's move on to OSPF, and we're gonna make everybody in OSPF area 0. Okay, so that is the idea. We are gonna make the OSPF area 0. So you see, it's not that difficult creating it. It's not that difficult. Things are once you know how things are working, it's easy. So if I do no router EIGRP1, so EIGRP is gone, and then I'm gonna do router OSPF. The network is so beautiful, I can do the same thing. So I can say router OSPF1, and I won't do the router ID. I will do just the network 10.1.234.0.0.0.255 in area 0, and I will do network 172, and you see how what's happening. 172.16.0.0.0.255.255 in area 0. You see what's happening. Neighbor down, forced to reset, access start exchange access, because so you see what's happening. The hub says, hey, it's I don't know what's going on. I'm receiving multiple sites on me, right? Because if I look at it, let me show you. How can I show you? I need that. Okay, let's type do show IP OSPF interface tunnel 1, and if you look at it, this is point to point. You see, this is point to point. So it's saying, hey, this is point to point tunnel, and I'm receiving multiple neighbors on my point to point tunnel. This is not fair. So what we need to so what we now we know that all 3 routers, from the OSPF perspective, when they are in tunnel, when the interface is just give me a minute, guys. So when it is multiple point to point, if it's a GRE, it's a point to point. If it's a tunnel for OSPF, it's a point to point. So what we need to do, we need to either say broadcast on all 3 routers. We change it, but we have to make sure, if we do broadcast, we have to make sure that none of the spokes will make themselves the DR, right? Because in the broadcast network we have a DR BDR election. The other network type which will work is non-broadcast, but in that one we have to define the neighbor statically, that who's the neighbor, and then we have point to multi-point. This will also work, and we do not have to worry about DR BDR, but we have to remember to allow the multicast traffic on this one. So let's do point to multi-point if we can. Let's do that. So I will do interface tunnel 1, and I will say IP OSPF network point to multi-point. So it will go on all the routers, and boom, you see, it is stopped. Because now it says, okay, yeah, this is fine. OSPF is saying, yeah, I can do that. So if I do, let's say on all of that, show IP route OSPF, you see everything is there, right? And OSPF considering that as a /32, right? Loopbacks. So if I go on Loopback and say, if I go on, let's say I will do that, config T interface loopback 0, and I say IP OSPF network point to point, then I have, and then I do, did I put it on all three? Yes. And then I do show IP route to SPF. So now it says /24, right? So this is, and you can see that next hop remains unchanged. So this is also important. And in this one, the next hop changed. Sorry, the next hop is also the same. It's Ospf is also going to change it. Ospf is not recommended to be run on the on the tunnel or on the DMVPN network, but this is how it should be configured. So if I want to say trace to 172.16.3.3 with the source of loopback 0, boom, it worked. And no matter how many times I want to go, it remains the same. It remains the same. It doesn't matter, right? So it's working the same way. So now if I'm not wrong, and if you guys don't mention, I want to do the BGP. Okay, but before we do BGP, I will stop it, I will save it, and then I will do the BGP one, because after BGP we will do the phase 2 as well, because this is 21 minutes. I don't want to make this longer, so we will do BGP in a separate one. Thank you. Bye.